Hi. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. It's super awesome. Very encouraging. I just wanted to come today and just kind of update you on my 10-item wardrobe, which has been really spreading to be not exactly a 10-item wardrobe, but a little bit more, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I would love to hear some comments from you because I know I tend to be, my tendency, my desire is to like expand. Be like, ooh, if one's good, then probably like 3 are better. But I think that's a little bit against the spirit of the 10-item wardrobe, if only because that way you're not really gonna wear, you're not gonna wear the 3 and you're not even gonna wear the 1. And for me, if I get like choice exhaustion, then I just put on like the simplest, dumpiest, oldest thing that I have. So that might be working against myself a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of like some of the other pieces in my 10-item / capsule wardrobe right now, and also just share with you some of the things that I have been learning along the way, because this has been a really interesting journey so far, and I'm really just beginning. I feel like I'm just hitting the point where I actually have a capsule wardrobe, but I've been aiming to have one for quite some time, and that's why I do think of it as a 10-item wardrobe, because I think that concept has helped me more than anything else to really kind of like, it's kind of like the seed around which the pearl is forming. Like that has helped me to focus the most, I think. I think just because it's like picking a point of focus. And I think with the 10-item wardrobe, you kind of end up with the same number of things that you would end up with in a capsule wardrobe, but you have your kind of points of focus. So that's helpful. So anyway, I'm going to show you some of the things that I added to mine, and also just kind of share with you some of what I have learned from this process. Because as I said, it's been very emotional. I don't know where to start. Which one should I do first? But it's been very emotional just in terms of like me thinking through like why I want to have so much stuff, why I do have so much stuff, and having to kind of trace back some of those patterns, and see kind of like what are clothes doing for me? What is it that I hope to get from them, and why do I have a closet full of stuff? You know, so a lot of what I think that I've learned that clothes have been doing for me is really a lot of their value to me was in the purchasing of them. Like at some points in my life, it has been for status reasons, for like getting the hard to get thing, getting the thing that is like the it thing right now, or even just finding the bargain at the thrift store that's kind of out of this world. Even if it's something I don't really need and I'm not really going to use, but you know, I found a designer dress at the thrift store for like less than $5, and that is a thrill. It's really awesome. But all of those things kind of put the value in the item and not really in my life, not really in myself. So that has actually been like the surprising kind of like off run, is that a word? Not sure. Overflow, I don't know, of this whole exercise is really seeing the need to value myself and actually like just build something that's workable for me because I'm worth it. So that's really awesome. Also just to realize, I think for me, clothes have always been fun. They've always been like, you know, creative, fashion, fun, whatever. And to realize that this is actually quite practical. So I love that about it. I love that it's really about organization. It's about being functional and pretty. And the way that I tend to think about that is I think about God, and like God is like a God of order, right? Like, so God is a God of order, and He also gives us things for our enjoyment. Like being a woman is hard, being a woman is awesome, but we wear a lot of hats, we have a lot of roles, we do a lot, right? So there always has been included in the idea of people, work has always been a part of it. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, they had the whole garden, they had each other, it was beautiful. Adam was given a task to work the garden, right? So there's always going to be work, but God gives us both the work and the beauty, you know. So I tend to think of fashion as kind of like in Matthew 6:25-33, God talks about seeking first the kingdom, seeking him first above everything else, and how he'll give us things if we do that, right? So I tend to think of it in that way, where he refers to like the wildflowers. He's like, look at the wildflowers, they don't do anything and I clothe them, they're gorgeous. So I think of clothes and fashion as being kind of like the wildflowers of our life, you know, where it's like if you're in the car on the highway on your way to like your 5th thing of the day, you know, thinking through what you're going to make for dinner, thinking through your week and all this stuff, and you look out the window, you know, and there's like all these wildflowers and they're just beautiful for no reason, just to encourage you, you know. So I think that that's the role that clothes have in our lives as well. It's just something to encourage us, you know, and I think it's something that God intentionally gives us for our encouragement. But it's a lot more encouraging when you can actually kind of have the piece of that order. So that's what I'm really gaining from the capsule wardrobe, which has been really awesome. So yeah, let's get into it a little bit. So I already showed you guys, I've got this little cami, which has been really awesome, like tucked into jeans, and then I wore it with, this is my linen shirt that I brought back, which I haven't officially put in my wardrobe because I guess I don't know. I feel like the neckline is a little low and it kind of like moves around when I wear it, but I like the idea of this shirt a lot. But I wore this with this little like cream linen blazer and a pair of military issue Navy jeans from the Navy, like sailor pants, which you can get at any Army Navy store. That's like, they're like $18 and they're like really cute, like high-waisted, wide-legged pants, so do that if you're into that look. And they're like nice, like 100% cotton, so they're gonna wear well. So this has been really cute. I really love this blouse. This is really lovely. It's just a little silk blouse. I like all my little short sleeve random tops. This one is like one of my polyester ones. These are my 2 polyester choices. I don't like love polyester, but I do like how washable they are. And I'm really into this whole watercolor print situation. Unexpectedly, that's where I tried to go for like this, all cream, all clean all the time, and I kind of ended up with this and this. So with these together, well, that's the back of that. But these together is cute, you know, like just little accents of print. So that's the other thing that I think is kind of the game changer that I've learned so far with the capsule wardrobing, is that color is like such a big deal. And it's really based on like just the old ideas of like, what's your season, you know, which is just another way of expressing like, hey, what's going on with your features? Because you're always going to look your best if you just kind of bring out, repeat, enhance what God is already doing in you. Psalm 139, 13-14, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. We're made like incredible, you know? So we can just bring that out. We don't have to like make up something new, and we're always gonna look best if we just kind of repeat what's happening. So for me, that's why I think I ended up with a lot of these kind of watercolory, sheer, kind of like neutral, soft colors and stuff, is because, so I have like a olive skin tone, basically. I have like black girl olive skin tone, which there's obviously like cool coloring, there's warm coloring, and then there's olive coloring, which is more of a neutral. It basically means you have a cool undertone, but then a warm like overlayer. So if you also have an olive skin tone, you're gonna look really good in colors that are layered, colors that are soft, colors where there's like a bit of a mix, like a bit of a muddy color, or like a bit of a like misty, muddy, murky. That's not attractive, but I can't think of the word that I want. But yeah, those colors that are like, that have some depth to them, because that's imitating what's going on with your skin. So for that reason too, I already told you about my white shirt mishaps, and this is like kind of on the edge because this is a pretty clean, crispy print, which I like. But what's cool about this is that it has like a soft shape. So that's something that I was really wanting to go for, is like something that feels clean in some of the details, but soft in other ones. So marrying those two elements, I think, really works nicely. So this is something that I just got, that I just added, and I'll have to let you know how it works out, because honestly I haven't really worn it yet, but I'm excited to wear it like this, with like high-waisted jeans tucked in. It's got a little bit of like a bell sleeve, which is super cute, and it's cotton. It's just like a little light stretch cotton. The thing that I've noticed is I just don't really, this is about as much of a short sleeve as I ever really want to wear. I have like muscular arms and I'm just not about that short sleeve life, which makes it hard in the summer, but amen. But yeah, and then I actually need to kind of go through this and like weed some things out because it has been growing. I've got this linen top that made it out with me that I'm kind of like, without, and I have this like awesome like Brooks Brothers tan shirt. These are great to thrift. You can find a million Brooks Brothers shirts in a thrift store, and they're all really nicely made. And I always think that an oversized men's shirt looks good on a woman. It just brings out your femininity. It's pretty. So I've got that one that I showed you before. And these two are my tea dye experiments. This has been, I think I basically just ruined it. I just have to like accept that I'm going to replace it with this other white shirt that I got, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, I tea dyed this, and this just looks really dirty. I think that's like an over shirt. But this one came out really nicely. This is like a little Bryn Walker Tencel situation that I bought when I was feeling the whole little white shirt moment before, but the little white shirts weren't feeling me. So I just tea dyed it with 2 tea bags and some salt in the tea water, and then you do like a rinse with cold water and vinegar, and it sets it. I've washed it and the color stays and everything, and I'm really happy with this one. So that's a great DIY if you have things that aren't quite working for you because of color. I don't want this to go too long, and I do want to do a video. I've got a video coming up that's going to be more like showing you the clothes on, so you can kind of see the functionality of the capsule wardrobe, because I always think that's fun. But I just wanted to show you a couple of my dress purchases, and then I will sign off so it's not so long. But I got this dress, which I'm super excited about, and that's the other thing. I started to talk about color, but I realized that really like what I want in my wardrobe is like brown, black, and cream as like the base colors, and then there's like a little bit of purple, there's a little bit of green, but like mainly like having those kind of soft neutrals as my base is really helpful. And I weeded out a lot of the navy pieces that I had and a lot of the gray pieces, and that just made my whole wardrobe feel much more cohesive. So I would definitely recommend that when you're in the first stage of capsule wardrobing, when you get everything out and you're looking at everything all together. I think it's helpful, first of all, just to have, as Marie Kondo talks about, the shock of just seeing everything, but also it's helpful to then go through and put things into piles by category, jackets, jeans, all that, see how much of each one you have. And then after I did that, I put things into categories by color, and that was really helpful. I had more in certain colors than I thought, and it helped me to see what could go with what. It really helped me a lot more with making outfits and feeling like my wardrobe was cohesive. And like I said, I kind of weeded out some of the navy pieces and some of the gray pieces that I had just because they didn't go with as many of the other things. So that's something that can be really helpful. But anyway, I'm really excited about this dress. It's a Tucker dress. I was super into this brand. I would say probably 12 years ago. In fact, I know it was 12 years ago because my older son is 12. And I thought these were the perfect postpartum shirts. I got this is a dress, and it's actually cotton, but mainly what she's kind of known for is the blouse version of this, which is like basically just this to here and in silk. And they were really like great postpartum things. So they have buttons, so they're easy for nursing, and they're just super easy. They're super breezy. You just throw it on with jeans and you feel like you did something, and like you don't have like baby spit up all over yourself, but like very easy. So I was obsessed with these like 12 years ago. They're like $300 a pop. But now, you know, only 12 years later, I got this on eBay for 25 bucks. So I would say that's a great tip too, is like if you're old enough to have had periods where you just really loved something, to either go back and find things from that brand, or just to stick with the brands that you know fit you, whether or not they're cool right now, whether or not they're in style. And actually it's better for you if they're not cool, because you know they look good on you, and they're probably a lot more affordable secondhand somewhere. So I'm gonna sign off on that tip, but thanks so much for watching. I'll give you a little preview of this situation, which hopefully I'll try on for you next time, but I want to talk more about that, but I don't want this to be too long. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.